All right, here we have an example from today's lesson. Again, this was out of chapter 2.2.2, the second half of chapter 2.2. We had a problem in class where I had explained that we were going to use long multiplication to multiply it out. I'm going to do a piece of this and then you can complete the problem using the same process. What we find is, with this type of problem, there is a way you can do it with foiling, but going ahead and turning it into a long multiplication problem is probably going to be your best bet. I color-coded these, so hopefully it'll make it a little bit more clear. Okay, but initially, just as with long multiplication, you would start all the way here on the right with the bottom multiplication term, and we have the positive square root of 7 times negative square root of 7 is simply going to be negative, the square roots will cancel out, 7, plus the square root of 7 minus 2 square root 7. Okay. And then positive square root 7 times x, so x square root 7. Okay. Now, for the next piece, I'm going to focus on my red term here on the bottom. And now here's where you want to kind of start to look at it and try to line up any like terms that you get. So here I have negative square root, or negative 2 times, or negative square root 7. So I can see that that's going to be positive 2 square root 7. Well, that has the same base and it has a number for a coefficient as this term. So I'm going to go ahead and look a little bit ahead and put that right under here since I know I can add these up. Now here I have negative 2 times negative 2. Well, that's going to be positive 4. I have all my constants all the way here on the right. I'm going to go ahead and write that down there. And then negative 2 times x, and I don't have anything like that, so I'm going to go ahead and start my own, or kind of a new deal right over here. Okay. Now I move on to the blue terms. Okay. And for this one, I get that I get x times negative square root 7. I do already have a term that looks like that, so I'm going to put that right under here, negative x square root 7 right there. Then I get x times negative 2x. And I can see that right here, that I have negative 2x. And then I have x times x, so that would just be x squared. And I didn't have a term like that. So if you notice, if I look at my different columns, I've lined up all my like terms, so my addition should be relatively easy. Negative 7 plus 4 just gives me negative 3. Negative 2 square root 7 plus 2 square root 7, well, those cancel out, so that's just going to go away. Then I have square root 7, or x square root 7 minus x square root 7. Again, those are going to cancel, so I can just have them go away. Negative 2x plus negative 2x is negative 4x. And then I just have an x squared here. So just kind of writing it over here to be a little bit neater, I have x squared minus 4x minus 3. Now I'm remembering that I need to incorporate that back into my original problem, meaning that if I were to kind of rewrite this portion, I could rewrite it as x minus 4, not forgetting about my initial part of the problem, times x squared minus 4x minus 3. Okay. And if you feel comfortable with a different method, you can, but this will be a fairly organized way of going about multiplying polynomials that are more than just two terms.